Okay, so like I say, last year I had some overhead watering and I still kind of got that mess and hose octopus out here. I'm trying to really determine what is best. Boy, you know, there's no right or wrong, but what maybe works best for the situation. And so all the raised beds, of course, have, the little hoses, the 1/4 inch hoses with drip line, and it can water it and be very targeted and very good. But you know, when it gets hot in Texas here in the summer, you really want that rain kind of drenching, right? And the soaker hose eventually will, or the drip hose, soaker hose, will eventually soak an area, but you know, when you really gotta douse it because the ground dries out so fast, you need a heavy thing. So I was experimenting last year with those overheads, and they're great. But the thing is, I need to say, do I want a combination of overhead plus inline, and where does it make sense, and where where it does and doesn't make sense? Because there's an efficiency in terms of spreading out that water over a large area, and the inefficiency of popping little holes and making little targeted, watering things, that can be a bit much. And there has to be some balance somewhere, and as with gardening, it's an experiment. Now, as we walk into the midsection here, this tends to be the flower garden. Now, we planted bulbs last year, and so you can see that the bulbs are coming up, as well as the weeds and stuff like that. So I really have to, get down on my hands and knees and pull some of that stuff and get it ready. I've been kind of disappointed in my mulberry tree here. Last year it grew so big, and then when the season started, I think it died or froze or something, and we didn't really have a cold winter, but something where it just conked out, and it's not even flowering or growing leaves, but it's coming up from the bottom. So kind of like disappointed that that tree didn't do so much. Maybe if those at the bottom grow and take and then survive year after year, it's kind of a little disappointing. These are some flowering trees that are really nice. They add shade, but I'm probably going to replace them with a nicer tree, a fruit tree, or something that can give us nourishment. Again, the bulbs are coming up, and that's nice to see. And now here is the cardoon. Look at my cardoons, have done great. I mean, the massive leaf structure here that takes up the space. I mean, it's decorative, and you can eat it. And some of these are artichoke too, but boy, oh boy, have those gotten big. Once they take, they must hit those roots down deep, and they're great. But you really got to find a space for them, or else they'll, like a dinosaur, they seem to take over. Now, my fig tree that was in a container, I planted him here. This is where I used to have the pomegranate tree, where we had for, oh my gosh, forever, never grew pomegranates. But I kind of neglected my fig tree, so I don't know if he's going to root from the bottom or root at all, or, did he die? I just have some bad luck with potted trees, it seems. So we'll see what happens to this guy. If he doesn't sprout any leaves or anything from the bottom, I'll just put a replacement in. Over here's a bit of a mess. I've had these container plants that I had some in the garage. We brought them out, and now I got to clean up this area and get ready for some flowers and cut back the rose bushes. And the hanging garden, it's all needs to be replaced. But all these containers here, and this of course fell down on me, but all these containers here were from last year, because I didn't want to pull up the plant, because the ghost peppers can grow year after year. And so I put them in the garage and watered them. And here's even my banana plant, which I think he's still alive. But yeah, so some of the peppers you can see have come back. Some of them aren't, so they definitely died. So I'll pull them out and pull these out and kind of organize this a little bit better. Probably more some decorative plants than that as we get by. So this area here tends to be the decorative area. And like I say, needs a little cleanup, needs a little staking, needs a little refreshment. So we'll deal with that here as another task to do. All right, let's show you the rest of the garden here in another video.